Hello, welcome in. I'm going to be doing a bit of Reiki healing. I don't really have an intention for tonight. Normally I'd have a few things set up, but I think let's just see where Source, Spirit, Universe takes us. Today is Earth Day, so I guess it should be about celebrating the Earth, celebrating our ties to the Earth, to the planet, finding our connection back to the universe and ourselves. Hey Cass, how's it going? Good evening. How are you all feeling? How's the energy been for you? Hey Haley, how's it going? Yes, it is Earth Day. We do this thing though, I think as a society. We pick one single day and it's like, this is Earth Day. This is Mother's Day, this is Father's Day. When it should be a continuous celebration. A lot of people come and fight me on my lives about different gods and deities, and I'm like, we live on the face of a god. We live on the body of a being that supports us and sustains us. But I don't think we treat her right. But even with all of that, she still tries to help us and support us. But what have you been going through? How are things going for you? We've shifted into Taurus energy. I feel both stability and instability at the same time. Yep. I'm in a mood. My mind is in a weird place tonight. We'll see where it takes us. So allow any heavy or dense energy you might have been feeling. Allow those to be lifted. Whatever no longer serves you, that's what's being pulled away. Cords, thoughts, anxieties, ruminating thoughts, old thought patterns. Anything you need to let go of, anything the subconscious knows that it needs to let go of. Thank you. So let me know in the chat, what are you letting go of? What energy no longer serves you? Tonight, I guess I kind of want to do maybe a de-manifestation and manifestation video. I feel like that's something that I'm being called to. So the first half is just going to be kind of old school to how I used to do things. Just pulling, clearing. Then we're going to focus on affirmations at the end. Because I know there's a lot of heaviness and dense energy out there. I put out a video this week, very brief, kind of talking about NPC energy, non-playable characters, and I feel like a lot of those exist in our life. And I feel like they've been put in that path to kind of push us. Very dense, very earth energy. You are the main character. So how do we heal from these things? I see a lot of stress, a lot of toxic energy. Energy we receive from other people is something that I've been reading from the room and from in the chat. For me, I do everything in meditation, in visualization. The crown showed up in the middle of the screen, but it's still awesome. Thank you. You are the main character. It's okay if you can't think of anything to release. Just allow this moment to be peaceful then, serene. How do we confront these things that we are dealing with? Those of us going through the stress, through the toxic energy. How do we remove and let go of that? Meditating helps. Shielding is important. Protect your energy. Protect your energy. And to do that, you shield yourself. You imagine yourself in a bubble of light, in a shield of light. It's a running joke. My name is now Brandon. If anyone asks, if anyone comes in the chat and is like, who is that? Just tell them my name is Brandon. We're going to run with that. Childhood trauma. It is a lot of work. First of all, I'm always going to recommend seeking out therapy, seeking out someone that you can talk to, someone that could help create a guide for you. But outside of that, what I would do is journal, a lot of writing. What is the childhood trauma? What is the energy that hurt me? What was the event? But where I go to do like the most amount of healing is within meditation. So I'll sit there, meditate. I'd find a place in nature I like being. It could be a forest, it could be a beach. And you can call upon the wounded self, the wounded inner child. Allow them to come out to you. Speak with them. Let them share their story. You share your story. Send them the love and the healing they needed in those moments. You gotta do the shadow work. A lot of us say love and light and try to push out the darkness and pretend it doesn't exist, but it's there, and it'll find a way back. There's nothing to fear in the darkness. It's about understanding those triggers, understanding those energies, healing the wounded self. But I would say that meditation that I told you, I would do that for about 2 weeks. Or as long as you need. Because you want to build a relationship with the inner child, with the wounded child. And it could be the part of you it could be a wounded version of you from a few months ago, from a year ago, from decades ago. Different triggers will come up and activate that energy. I'm currently training as a shaman, and when we do this type of work, when we do healing, we wear black to protect us from the shadows, to protect the others from the shadows. I use different archetypes. So we use the archetype of the serpent, the jaguar, the hummingbird, and the condor and eagle. Shadow work I can get into. So shadow work. So people think it's witchy stuff, but it's literally exactly what you do in therapy. You look at what the trigger is, you look at what's causing the hurt and the pain, and you journal out what is causing it. So let's say someone, trying to come up with an example. Let's say it's a breakup. Someone breaks up with you, and this has happened a lot. where you're constantly having the heart broken. It starts re-triggering that energy. So that one breakup now contains the energy of every single breakup you've been through. So what you want to do is kind of journal through, notice what are the physical aspects that's affecting you. What do you feel physically? We want to remove the emotions at first. Afterwards, then we're going to kind of look into the emotions and see what we're feeling because of the events that have happened. So this is you just writing it out, journaling, playing detective with the emotions and the feelings. And you're going to have to do it for every event that's similar to what you're feeling in that moment. And so that's why I do the meditation where I go and look to my past self, to my wounded self. Offer them the love that they need. Offer them the light that they need. Offer them the space for them to break down whoever they need to. And sometimes the roles switch. Sometimes they're breaking down and you're offering comfort, or sometimes your present self is breaking down. They're offering you comfort. Yep, Carl Jung. We're looking into the subconscious, the ego. Let me know if that makes sense of the shadow work. If not, I could try and come up with a few other ideas. But if we look at different writers, different stories that we like, I always lean into Harry Potter, even though I'm not a fan of the writer anymore. But she did shadow work by going through so she went through anxiety, depression. She turned that into a story where there was magic. There were very vulnerable characters going through some ordeal. And so she took the pain that she was experiencing in the physical reality and then wrote a story to help her heal through it. So if you think of something like the Dementor's attack, that's depression. And how do you fix that? How do you fight that? You find the happy memories. You say an incantation to help protect you. You find chocolate or the things that make you feel happy. Other things, people hate me for this one, but if we look at Taylor Swift, she goes through a lot of heartbreak. She then transmutes it in shadow work by turning it into songs, into lyrics, into poetry. She takes her pain and turns it into strength. So there are different ways of doing shadow work. Journaling is what helps me the most, but in the past, that's what I've done. Who hurt me? They're suddenly the villain in my novel. Who's the hero? A wounded version of myself trying to find that power, that strength. I got you, Shay. Oh. I'm trying to think of any other examples of people that I know that have kind of done this. But so art is a way of shadow work. You're releasing that energy. So dancing, singing, even if it's not you writing songs, but you singing that energy out, it helps move the trauma from the body. There are things called breath work that helps also move the trauma from the body, because the trauma gets stored in the brain and the physical body. Yep, art is really good. I'm not saying that every artist is like going through some darkness, but it does help them. It's a good way of transmuting that pain. Yes, write those stories, make those movies. Even photography, videography, those are ways of art. Those are ways of doing shadow work. Sharing a story. Sharing your story. Running, exercising, that's a way of processing that energy as well. So anything you're letting go of, any heavy energy. Use this moment to do that. I was working with my mentor today. If you want something to help you with your anxiety, whatever you're battling, any stone. Pick any stone. When you take that stone, whisper that intention into the stone. Say that, please help me with whatever you're battling with. That way it's sort of a reminder whenever you look at it, whenever you reach for it, whenever you think about it. It becomes a tool. A reminder, a source of power. Sometimes with heartbreak, it's tough. Yes, a lot of things happen during my lives. People will come in, they will either fall asleep, or they will cry deeply, or they will feel relaxed. It changes from person to person. It's because the energy is intuitive. It knows what it needs to do. It knows where it needs to heal. Crying is good though. Crying helps you release that old energy, those old narratives. Also, you might cry during these because I set the intention that it's a safe space, and maybe you've been bottling up a lot of emotions and energy. And this becomes a space to let go of it. Someone asked why to drink water. Because yes, I'm doing the healing now, but this energy stays with you for a bit longer. And so as that energy shifts through you, you want the water to help clear out the body, empower the body. It's going to start doing a lot of work, even if it doesn't feel like it. So staying hydrated is going to be important. Drink water whenever you feel called to, right now or after. So I set the intention for Reiki, this specifically to help with mental states of mind, a lot of clearing of the third eye. But I do believe it can help with other ailments, but still always see your doctors, see your therapists. But if you set the intention that this energy is going to help with other things, for some people it has helped. I've seen it help with headaches a lot. I've seen it help with stress. I think it's good to mix both practical medicine and spirituality together. It means your energy is just being transmuted. The healing is a sleepy process. For some. I do not do Reiki in person, not yet. You might feel some discomfort. If the discomfort's too much, the energy might not be resonating well with you, so I would say maybe scrolling away for a little bit. See what comes up. Do what feels natural. I'm going to do a bit more pulling for maybe another 10 minutes. Then I'll just start sending pure Reiki energy towards you, just to heal through that. So anything you're letting go of, feel free to use the chat right now to just say what you're letting go of. Imagine that being lifted. And I feel it. A lot of tension, sadness in the world. I took a class on the portal tonight, and we were talking about media and media consumption and how that affects us. Ads, TV, even things that we find here on TikTok. They're all fighting for our attention and our time. Do we let things and people live within us rent-free? Or do we start taking control? Yep, negative talk, negative self-talk, imposter syndrome. I've seen a lot of that going on. And in my Patreon, I did a monthly reading of energy. And so there is a lot of transformative energy coming up, but it's going to feel heavy. But I try to update that community with whatever I find for the month, for the season that we're in. And set the boundaries with these things or these people that no longer serve us, or kind of break our shields, break through our psyche. Understanding what created these feelings of grief and shame, fear, anger. And you can even take this energy, this is your energy that you're feeling. Take this energy and send it to those wounded versions of you that were hurt, that are hurting. I stubbed my toe this week. I feel your pain. It was not pretty. It's still not pretty. Yep, not feeling good enough. The thing is, it is about the journey. And I know it sucks to hear, but the things we battle through, the things that we see, once we can heal through it, once we could find strength within it, it makes us powerful. It allows us to then create medicine to bring for others. And that's why I enjoy the path of shamanism, where it's about bringing up those old wounds and facing them through shadow work, through meditation, through grounding. And then that same medicine you could then bring to others or help others. But sometimes life shows us powerlessness. All we could do is kind of run with the waves of chaos until we could find our footing, until we could stand up strong. I was in a place where I wanted strength, and the universe continued showing me powerlessness, and I didn't understand why. But a lot of things that I've been reading and researching in mindfulness, in Taoist philosophies, a way of life, like Reiki is a way of life, shamanism is a way of life, Taoism is a way of life. They're all philosophies. But with Taoism, it kind of it focuses on water. The behavior of water is a lifestyle. If you punch water, the water bends around the fist. It doesn't feel pain. Water always goes to the low ground. And when it reaches the low ground, it rises everything up. The same philosophy kind of exists in Tai Chi. And that's kind of what got me into Reiki as well. Meditation and Tai Chi. Feeling the energy. People tell me Reiki's fake, but like, if we look at different martial arts, it's about focusing on Chi, about focusing on prana, focusing on different types of energy and how it could be used. And knowing that that energy is around us, that we could tap into. Because all of this, whatever you're feeling, isn't my energy. That's what can get confused. It can be very confusing, but this is your energy. I'm only reminding you, activating the subconscious into healing itself, allowing it to heal. It's just a reminder of how powerful you are. Sometimes you just need that thing that reminds us that, that external force. It might be a dumb rock, but at least I'm not a fake child like you are. Yoga is very powerful. Research yoga fully, though, because there's been a lot of appropriation of yoga. Yoga is seen as only just doing the poses, doing hot yoga. They don't even use the right names. They don't use the Sanskrit words for yoga. But it said that Shiva was one of the first yogis that brought the yogic energy to the world. Yoga is a lifestyle, so it is the postures, it's the way that you live. There are specific guides to it. Yoga is like one of 8 paths within the yogic philosophy. I don't remember all of them. I forget her name. I think it's Yoga with Maisie. She did a really good video kind of breaking those down recently. But yeah, yoga is about focusing on the body, focusing on the mind, strengthening the spirit, strengthening the body. I don't practice it myself, but the rest of my family does. I leaned into energy healing. Shavasana is good. That's where I'm not sure about Kundalini yoga. I know about Kundalini energy, and it is a different energy source. It's a very powerful energy source. And the point of Kundalini yoga is to try and activate that energy. It is a creative energy. It is a destructive energy. It is powerful. Thank you, MJ. That one always makes my night. Yes, yoga is powerful. Yep. Shamans connect with the earth. They learn about the earth. They speak to the spirits of the world. And for me, that's something I've always been able to step into altered states of mind without plant medicine, without help. One moment. The mind is powerful. A lot of people will come in here trying to hurt my feelings, saying that this is just a placebo. Look at what a placebo does. So those of you that don't know what a placebo is, there are a lot of studies where in new medicines, they'll have a test group. They'll have two test groups, one that they receive the actual medicine, and those that don't receive the actual medicine, those that receive sugar pills. But they're told that if you take this pill for X amount of time, it's going to help. So they believe in their mind that it's going to help. Because they believe in their mind fully that it's going to help, it helps. I'm going to switch up a bit. I'm just going to go diving into just energy restoration at this point. Even these people are like, these are rocks, but words are spells, words are power. I tell you that the selenite is going to cleanse through anything that you're going through. It's going to work. It's going to help. Especially those of us that are hurting. Those of us that feel pain. Those of us that are looking for help. It's not about the crystals. The crystals do help a lot. They're conduits. And that's the power of the mind. Everything you see around you is the mind creating it in a way. So we have the 5 known senses, the ones that we talk about a lot. They all build up the reality around us. But we all see it differently. A color red to me might look different than the color red looks to you. The body is just sort of a piece of technology, a biological piece of technology that kind of takes the world in, builds it within the mind. And for the mind, that's here. For me, that's here, within the third eye. And so that builds our inner world and our outer world. And so that's why, even for me, manifestation is kind of difficult. Just because to believe it and feel it, to feel that there's going to be a change, it's a bit tricky. Because let's say you're constantly having your heart broken. Your reality's now been written to the sense that it's always going to be broken, no matter what I do. Your heart's always going to get broken. This is always going to hurt. And so that's where we have to do the shadow work, start rewriting it, start believing in reality where that's not true. It's just that everything we've experienced to this point has proven the things that we fear. So if you're afraid of dogs, every time you see a dog, they're going to sense that fear and they're going to bark at you and yell at you. And it's going to continuously reinforce that that's what's going on. I see you, Adam. I hope you have an amazing evening. And so that's where the tricky part of manifestation is. What you would have to do. So a course I took was sort of like write down exactly what you want, and you could do that now if you want. I'm not even using crystals right now. Someone's like, crystals don't work, bro. Listen, there are crystals in my hand. There are crystals flowing through my blood. My bones are made out of calcium, calcite, whatever. There's crystals all over us. There's crystals inside your phone powering it. Sorry, people forget I have rejection sensitive dysphoria. And my mods know this, so anyone that says things that can potentially upset me, they get blocked. Yep, it's in the phone battery. It's in the literal brain of the phone. There's glass. Glass is a crystal. That's what we tap the screen on. And so that's what it is. You write down what you want to manifest. And if you want to write that here, feel free to do that. What do you want to manifest? What do you want in your reality? And so it normally starts off as like, I want this, I want that. And what we'd have to do after that is kind of break it down. Thank you, Anne. People try to manifest. They say it's easier to manifest things in the physical reality, like cars, money. But you have to put yourself into that mindset and that energy field of what that feels like. Because the thing is, we might not even want the thing that we think we want. We think we want a relationship. We think we want to be with someone. We want the feeling of what it feels like to be with someone. And that's where it can get tricky. But that's the thing. We want the joy. We want the feeling of what financial stability feels like. We want the feeling of what love feels like. And so I've read a lot of Abraham Hicks and Neville Goddard, and it's like you have to feel as if those things are already here with you. You have to feel and act like that's the thing that you are already. And so what I mean by that is, if you want to feel love, what does love feel like for you? If you want financial abundance, what does that feel like? Because there's a joy to it, there's a stability to it, there's a sacred energy to it. And so what you'd have to do is look at what you do have financially. If it's financial income coming in, if there's money that's saved up, or even if it's just in the form of items that you have around you, focusing on the joy of what that is. And this goes for anything you're trying to manifest, anything you're trying to feel. Like for me, for so long, I wanted to feel healed. I wanted to feel stable. I wanted to feel connected to myself and to the earth again. And so it was me saying that, making that an affirmation, saying that, hold on, I have some of them written here. I love my inner spirit. I am love. I am loved. May I be loved. I am healing. And so you also want to take it apart and be like, why do I not feel that already? Why don't I feel loved even though that energy surrounds you? And so what I mean by that is sort of, hold on, I lost my train of thought. People always criticize the music, and that always throws me off. What experiences have you had that kind of broke you away from feeling stable, from feeling loved, from feeling healed? What path do you have to take to get to these things? If it's money, can you figure out, why do you not feel abundant? Do you think that you have to work really hard to obtain money, or there are other ways to obtain it? Someone wanted some manifestations. I have a few here that's like, I feel free, I am amazing, I am relaxed, I surrender to the universe, I nourish my soul, I let go of what no longer serves me. And so someone had asked me earlier too about financial abundance, and something I'm trying to figure out too. So we looked at kind of EFT tapping, emotional freedom technique, and using your affirmations with that. Tapping into the feel. That one's selenite. Tonight I'm just using selenite and pure energy. That too, those feeling kind of emotionally unstable. Going into earth, going into nature. It is Earth Day, or was Earth Day. But every day's Earth Day. Go out to it. I haven't heard of Pachamama medicine. Is that like ayahuasca? But yeah, feel free to write into the chat. What affirmations are you using? What affirmations should you be using? So something you could do as well, anything that resonates with you, I'd recommend every day kind of using a mirror or using your own phone, looking yourself in the eye and saying your affirmations. And you could do it in different ways. You could use the I form, I am love, I am powerful. Or if you're looking in the mirror, you could also say like, you are loved, you are powerful, as a way of like transferring that energy. And tap into the feeling of what those things are. Because that's the energy you want to hold on to. Because they say that if you're in that state of mind, if you're in the feeling of these affirmations that you feel, it's going to slowly bring more things like that. It can also bring in things that test that test these energies as well. So it's kind of the universe wanting to remind you how far you've come on the journey. It's sort of like the healing journey as well. Those of us that go through like really difficult times, the beginning's rough, the middle's still kind of rough, we're still figuring it out, but then things that trigger us, it doesn't break us down entirely. Feeling like an imposter, it always comes up there, but what you think, if you feel like an imposter, what to do if you feel like an imposter? Because I feel like an imposter all the time. Remind myself what I've done so far in my story. Know that you're capable of learning new things, capable of growing, of evolving. Think of it as an adventure. Even if you don't know, it doesn't hurt to ask for help. It doesn't hurt to seek out guidance from a mentor. Because if you think about it, we're a species that we're born, we don't know how to walk, we don't know how to take care of ourselves at first. It takes a long time, but we learn over time. We learn to walk, we learn to gain mobility, we learn dexterity. It's a learning process that never goes away. So you'd write down, why do you feel like an imposter? What I feel like an imposter because we're looking to see where you feel disconnected from yourself, where you feel unworthy of what you've obtained, what you're gaining, or what you're stepping into. And then from there, correcting it. No, looking at your journey, because you want to look at your journey as the hero's journey. Even though you've been through a lot, even though you've seen so much, even though you might still be struggling, you survived to this point. You've made it to this point. It just, sometimes the imposter syndrome is the ego kind of flashing out. And sometimes listen to the voice. Is it your voice? Whose words are being used? Is it maybe a parent's voice or a bully's voice of someone from the past telling you you're not good enough? You want to separate yourself. I do a meditation a lot where if I'm hurt and I'm going through a healing journey, or if I'm feeling unworthy, when I remember to do this, I meditate and I separate my energy as like present day me versus the part of me that feels whatever energy I'm feeling, and have a conversation with them. Why do you feel like an imposter? Is it because of a past experience? Kind of giving yourself that pep talk, knowing that you've made it this far, you've accomplished so many things. Remove the limiting doubts that society's put on you. If there's something you really want, something you really want to obtain or achieve in this lifetime, claim it as your own. If you're not feeling chosen, if you're not being chosen, this is kind of cliche advice, but you have to choose yourself. And so what I mean by that is you have to put yourself up on the pedestal. We're used to the energy of putting others up on the pedestal. Those of us that are kind of empaths, I could see us easily falling into like a codependent kind of feel, where we want someone else to kind of pour all of us into. and use them as a structure for ourselves, but we have to love ourselves that much first. And how do we love ourselves? What does love for oneself feel like? And for me, I always compare it to the feelings of love that you might have for a best friend. If your best friend came and said that they were feeling unworthy, you would give them that pep talk. You would tell them how amazing they are. You would tell them all the things they've accomplished. You tell them, don't let your brain be mean to you. Yes, put yourself on the pedestal. Put your inner child on the pedestal. Talk to the ego and be like, listen, I know you're, because the ego gets hurt and the ego lashes out and is like, you're not worthy, you're not this, you're not that. And that's when you have to talk. It's when the inner child's been neglected. So the ego becomes a bully to you then. And when I say inner child, not like the bratty inner child, but the one that's playful, that's creative, that's curious. The one that sees the world as a playground. That they thought they could be astronauts or veterinarians or anything they wanted to be. You want to feed that version of you and put that up on the pedestal. That's a really good one, Jackie. Physically imagining like a pillow or something around you, being the inner child, being the younger self, being the part of you that's wounded, giving them the love and the attention they need. Because whenever the mind is lashing out like that, like I said, it's the ego and the inner child. They're a little bratty because they aren't getting the attention they deserve and they need. I'm glad that it helps. I'm glad that it resonates. And in this season of energy that we're in this astrological season, there's going to be a lot of shifting within. A lot of old patterns are going to be coming up. Old wounds are going to be coming up. But notice how you've grown from the last time that those triggers have come up. Notice how much you fight for yourself now. Yep, selenite, my favorite. Old wounds always be coming up. They do. These I think are gonna hurt though. It's okay to be tired. This energy is sleepy energy. I don't teach master classes. Soon I'm trying to come up with like a Reiki level 1, but I'm gonna combine maybe Usui and psychic Reiki and whatever it is that I do. Because like I've learned Reiki and then I made it my own thing. Yep, selenite helps. Selenite, that was one of the first ones I got. That and a piece of obsidian. Something for grounding, something for higher self. Now I'm surrounded by them. Thank you, Cherie. Everyone, please follow my mods. They're all amazing. They're all powerful. Someone asked about grief, the passing of their pet. I'm sorry for your loss. Grief is a winding path. My therapist had described it. They give me a poem where it described as kind of like a giant hole that you fall into every single day. But over time, you understand what darkness is there, what hurt is there, and you recognize it, you honor it, but you learn to walk around it. I think of, because I had lost someone last year, and so I think of what they would say or what they would do if they were around and they knew I was feeling sad. I'm very visual, so I like to go to a place in my mind where they could show up, they could heal, they could speak with me, we could have a conversation. If it's a pet, imagine them there with you. It's your imagination. If you want to imagine them speaking to you too, you could definitely do that. But that's something I do to kind of honor those energies, to honor who they were. Because sometimes, so I'm not sure if you subscribe to like the spirit guide theories, but like sometimes they say our guides that protect us incarnate in a physical form. And sometimes they come down as pets, to come and guide us, to show us things, to be there to help us. But when they move from physical to non-physical, the energy still stays with us. I hope that helps. I hope that resonates. How do you get out of negative thoughts? Because negative thoughts, when I hear that, I think of kind of ruminating thoughts, intrusive thoughts, meditation. I have an app. If you go through my link tree, like every link that you will need is probably up there. Because you want to learn focus, and so breath work, mindfulness exercises, that's what helps. One meditation I did, because when you're meditating, thoughts will still show up. And so one of the teachers taught that when the thought shows up, kind of recognize that a thought has shown up, imagine it as a cloud, and literally say out loud or think of it as a bubble or a cloud that you could push away. And say, you're just a thought. I see you there. I recognize you. But I want to stay here right now in the present moment. Something you could do as well, kind of narrating what's around you, because you want to come back to the present moment. And this leads into the processes of mindfulness, where you're going to look around you, pick like 5 items, say out loud what those items are, say what colors they are, what textures they might have. That's something I use a lot for maybe if you have trauma. Sometimes the traumatic thoughts come up, the traumatic memories start popping in, and you want to ground yourself back into reality. Another thing I do is I keep a journal in my phone, if you can keep a journal. As soon as a thought comes up, I write it down. I write down, I'm upset right now because right now I am thinking because, and so that's engaging the mind, it's engaging the body. It brings you back to the present moment, and it gives you a moment to just kind of analyze and process that information. Yep. The finding 5 things for each sense, it helps a whole lot. Look up something called emotional freedom technique. It's a way of tapping, and you would tap on different meridians on the body. So between the eyes, beside the eye, next to it, underneath the eye, above the lip, below the lip, and then anywhere on the collarbone. And so do that maybe 5 times. You could alternate which sides that you do that on, and that's something to help bring you back in. I forgot her name, but she does a lot of like affirmations tied with EFT tapping, and so that helps a lot as well. Trying to think what else to bring you back to the present moment. The breath, because the breath is kind of automatic. So what you do is kind of count your breathing. You inhale for the count of 4 or 4 seconds, hold your breath for about 4 seconds, exhale for the count of 4 seconds, and then hold your breath again. Yep, under the arm tapping as well, top of the head as well. Trying to think if there's any others, but those are the main ones that I used a lot, like a whole lot. Right now, I think I'm okay right now. But let me know how you're all feeling. Thank you. Thank you for offering. But yes, everyone please follow my moderators. They are all powerful and amazing. Shuri Mystic, Chronically Ghosted, Shy Flying High. If anyone's looking for crystals, Shuri Mystic is the one to look for. On Tuesdays at 7:30, she goes live. Yeah, I'm gonna close out in a few minutes. Let me see. Try to remember all the things that I always forget at the end. I have a Patreon that I update like maybe twice for the month, where I post Reiki videos, meditations. I do energy readings for the beginning of the month, and then energy readings for like if a new astrological season begins. That's what I'll use. I'm thinking about bringing some more things to the Patreon, just deciding what works. If you want one-on-one with me, that is linked in the bio. So the one-on-ones, they would work as a meditation. My goal is to rebalance all of the chakras, rebalance all of the energies there, kind of bring you back to center, into grounding with yourself. But so like for these sessions, these live sessions, I use water. For my one-on-ones, I use fire because it does transmute energy a lot faster. So it's a bit more of an intense process, but it does help do a bit of the shadow work that you're doing. I remember if there's anything else. Oh yes, YouTube is up there too. YouTube I have linked. This music I'm playing is music I've created, which is why I'm defensive of it, because I made it. But that's up on YouTube as well. That's linked in my bio. If you're kind of new on your spiritual journey, trying to figure things out, where I went and where I learned was the Portal 1111. It's linked in my bio. They have classes 5 days for the week, where they would do different things, different types of healing. They would have breath work, Reiki. It's basically like a spiritual gym membership. And so that's what really pulled me into the spiritual side of myself, kind of grasping onto the soul and spirit. Yep, I'm finishing. I'm closing up for the night. Yep. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. If I say meditation and you kind of roll your eyes and you're not sure what meditation is, there is an app that I use. It's not sponsored. It's just a tool that I've used that helped a lot. So that's called Balanced. That's also linked in the bio. I think it's a 1-year free trial. So check it out. See how you feel about it. Because they have a ton of different types of meditations on there that's going to help kind of bring you back to center. I might take a few of them and try to bring those out to the Patreon community as well. I need to see what's going on there, what people like out there. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off. I will, in a little bit, I will post this, hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow morning, I will post this up on my YouTube. So please check that out. All right, everyone. I hope you have a good evening, and I will see you all hopefully Monday. All right. Take care.